Hey everybody, this is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you. Just got out the shop. Loves, unfortunately, you can't sit in your truck, so I didn't have my TV and stuff to sit and watch movies and chill while I was in the shop. So I was in there, I was bored, I was looking at videos, and of course the Super Eagle videos come up. And I had me some good laughs. I had me some real good laughs. There was one on there, this lady tries to look all professional, got this great big desk with this great big backdrop behind her. And first 5 minutes of her video, she talks about allegedly. Allegedly means not proven. You're a suspect because you allegedly did something. They stop using the word allegedly when you become convicted. So allegedly means not proven. They think it is, maybe, could be, or we just got the wrong guy. Allegedly. And she did a full video on allegedly. Allegedly is not factual. Allegedly is not factual. So much for allegedly. Now, she talks about the fact that Super Ego has these magic logbooks. And if you, keyword you, call them up, they will, and you request a magic logbook, they will send you a magic logbook. This is a scam. Why? Because you got what you requested? She doesn't say that they call you and they force you to take. She says no. You called them up and you request a magic logbook and they will give you a magic logbook. It's a scam. Well, if it's something that you have to do and you don't want to do it, then don't make the phone call. Seems pretty simple to me. If you see that there's a farmer out there looking for people to help shovel manure, and you don't want to shovel manure, you don't call the farmer. Right? Is that a scam? Something else she says. They make you fix your own truck. You work for a different company, they fix it for you. Okay. You don't work for Super Ego. I've said 100 times, Super Ego is not hiring drivers. Super Ego is a finance company. You work for yourself. You are no different than an owner-operator, with the only exception that everything is in one location. So as an owner-operator, if you break down and you got to fix your truck, are you scamming yourself? You're also not making cents per mile like an employee. You're getting paid by the load. Like an owner. You're also not being told where to go like an employee. You're going where you want, like an owner. If you want to go home, you don't have to ask permission like an employee. You just make plans to go, like an owner. Nobody complains about those things. She says that you have people that work for weeks and don't make any money. True. But you also have people that work for weeks and make a lot of money. Also true. The difference. Some people take time to learn the program. Some people take time to learn the business. Some people take time to figure out what is a good load and what is not a good load. And those that do make money. The other difference, some people want to drive. Some people realize to make money, their wheels got to turn. Some people just want the privilege to go home and sit at home. Self-explanatory which one's making money and which one isn't. And see, this is what makes me laugh. Some people, they like the ability to go where they want to go. They like the ability to do what they want to do. They like the ability to have the freedoms like an owner. But when they have to deal with the responsibility of an owner, it's a scam. See what I'm getting at? You see what I'm getting at? And then you have people on here that are just stupid. I've been deleting a lot of troll comments lately, but there's one I just dealt with that I left on there. This guy says, being smart, he's gonna show me his math and his calculations. He's smart. So you have to give 25% of what you make to the super ego, and then you have to give 30% to the broker. So you're only making 45%. 30% to the broker? The broker is the one that's paying for the load to be shipped. Why would you give 30% to the broker? That's like saying when you work at McDonald's and it comes payday, you got to pay your employer to pay you. How much sense does that make? But you're going to show me how smart you are. Okay. People can find any way to justify what it is they want to justify. Even when they sound stupid as hell. And they will think they're smart and think they're spewing something out that's smart. And the difference is whether you want to give them the time of day and actually listen to what they're saying. And if you actually listen to what they're saying, most times you realize you should have never gave them the time of day. I never denied that there are people that come to this company who don't make any money. I've always been very clear about that. I tell you, there are people that look at the big number and they don't look at nothing else. And that's all they care about. And I've taken time to break all that down for you. There are people who focus on the details and they're making money. When I did my pickup in Laredo just the other day, ran into a guy who drives for another lease purchase company. We were chopping it up. He said the company he's with, he's doing good. Took him a little while to figure it out though. Once he figured it out, he said, I'll never go back to driving for company. I'll never do it. And he refers to the details as the math. You have to do the math. If you don't do the math, you ain't never gonna make no money. You have to do the math. I say you got to know the details. Same. But for people who don't want to know the details, for people who don't want to do the math, for people who don't want to take responsibility for their decisions and their actions, for people who want the availabilities and the freedoms but don't want the consequences and responsibilities that go along with it, they make videos. They blame everybody else. If you want a magic book, you have to call and you have to request a magic book, and they will give it to you. Their fault, they're scamming. Really? The obvious solution to that, like I said, you don't want to do it, don't make the phone call. If you made the phone call, it was something you wanted to do. How do you blame somebody else for what you want to do? And then tell me you're being accountable, you're being responsible. Whatever. Anyway, my horse is fixed. Time for me to get back on the road. Jump in the shower real quick, get cleaned up. You guys be safe out there.